Working man tags a beauty with a bow in Ohio. Try saying that 5 times fast.
We're hunting in northeast Ohio tonight. We're gonna go hunt this bedding area of this buck that I've been seeing. It's a nice buck.
He's gonna be rutting here pretty quick and leaving the property, so I've got to try and do something now.
What is the largest spread you've ever seen on a whitetail? You know, the space between the antlers. 17 inches, 19 inches, 20 inches. I'm Taylor Drury, and this is another throwback edition of DoD TV. This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by PSE's Carbon Air. Experience performance. Past Drury Outdoors team member Ben Rising has been defining the hunt for years. Back in 2002, Ben had a setup that I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. A setup right next to a highway. As challenging and crazy and loud as this may seem, Ben was soon approached by an early season velvet prize. Let's join Ben as he takes the ride on this mission.
We're hunting in northeast Ohio tonight. We got a cold front coming in out of the north. We're gonna go hunt this bedding area of this buck that I've been seeing. It's a nice buck, I mean a really nice buck. We're gonna slip in and get into the stand that's kind of covering his bedding area, but there's an area that he's been feeding in that he feels secure before it gets dark and enters the big fields. And I'm gonna try and get in between there and get to that area where he's feeling secure. We've passed up a lot of deer so far this year, and I'm hoping it pays off. I mean, I've seen some nice deer, done a lot of scouting, and I've got a lot of footage of this deer that I'm trying to kill already in the summer and stuff. And I'm just hoping it comes together tonight, so we're gonna give her heck and see what happens.
I put this stand up yesterday, and I've seen him right here in this fence gap a couple different times, and I'm hoping this tree is so small it just scares me to death that he's gonna bust us. But it's the only choice I got. I mean, he's gonna be rutting here pretty quick and leaving the property, so I've got to try and do something now. I'm just hoping tonight that he comes off this hill and I can at least get a shot at him. So let's just hang in here and we'll see how it goes.
The arrow went clean through it. I can't explain this feeling right now. I mean, I can't even feel my arms. Tell you what, that is the biggest buck I've ever seen, and I have worked so hard to kill that deer. I mean, if you ask anybody that knows me, I have worked and worked for that deer right there, and I just made an absolute perfect shot on that buck. He's been there for 10 minutes just eating like a pig. And I mean, I'm ready to fall out of this tree. I can't believe it. I can't. I mean, I'm being too loud because he could be right there, but I'm so emotional right now. I have battled this deer for 2 weeks straight since season open. I gotta sit down. I've been so hard after that deer. I mean, I've moved stands and I've moved around, and I mean, this area we're hunting is so hunted hard. It's a high pressure hunted area. We're not far from town. You can hear the road noise in the background. I mean, there's four-wheeler trails in here. I mean, that's what that deer was on, was a four-wheeler trail that had clover growing in the middle of it. Nobody would think to hang a stand, or they think, oh, big buck like that ain't gonna walk that. but I knew what I had, and this is what I wanted, and I got it. It paid off. I can't be any more happier. What a great buck. I mean, we've rough scored him. He's like 187, almost 190. Just an awesome buck for a 9-pointer. He's missing his 5th point here. If he had it, he'd be in the 200 class. And he'd really be something, but he's something to me right now. I don't care what they score. It's an awesome bow kill. It's an awesome deer. These are 13-inch tines. The spread's 19 and a half, just a beautiful buck, 9-inch brow tines.
Well, what a phenomenal reaction we've got from Ben Rising, and we call him the working man. This guy's been cutting trees for a long time. He's a blue-collar guy and puts in his time, and I think he elaborated on that, how many hours he spent, you know, observing that deer in velvet.
What a giant 9-point. I mean, if you look at that deer, I don't know that there's ever been a 9-point. Maybe there's some that score better than that, but certainly I've never seen one more impressive than that on video. That thing is awesome.
He was framed like a 200-inch animal. I mean, he really was.
He really is.
And Ben elaborated on it, and you could tell by his emotion that he had spent so much time after one particular animal. And Ben's kind of been noted for that throughout the years. When he gets one in his craw, he don't let up.
The feat to me in this particular case was October 23rd. I mean, I understand late September, early October on that feeding pattern. I understand late October, early November, just prior to the rut. I understand late November. Mid-October has been a particularly trying time for you and I, and here he is feeding down this logging road trail or this 4-wheeler trail, feeding on clover. I mean, very impressive hunt. To go in and kill that animal that he targeted in mid-October, it's almost impossible.
Once again, by himself, there were no does. Ben says it, he was feeding for 10 minutes like a pig. So that will tell you they're still trying to put that feed bag on. Who knows, the moon might have been a little bit late. Maybe the rut was a little bit later. Maybe it kept them into that feeding pattern just a little bit later. It doesn't look like it's extremely cool out because he's not dressed very warm. But all I can say is, again, patience that Ben had. He had the deer in front of him for 10 minutes. Granted, he was falling apart, you know, and his heart was about to pop out of his chest, but he waited until he got the right angle.
And age on this deer, I'm gonna call him a 6.5-year-old deer, just if I had to guess. It's mid-October. You look at all the different ages we've talked about, they're all old. You know, so there's another correlation. You don't get these 170, 180, 190 class deer till they reach that full maturity, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know.
Another monster.
19.5 spread on that Ohio tank. Truly a beautiful whitetail in the great state of Ohio with a bow. There is nothing better or more rewarding as a hunter. So hopefully this hunt brought back some memories of the largest spread you've ever seen on a whitetail. Comment below and don't forget to subscribe to our Drury Outdoors YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this throwback edition, and we'll see you next time. This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Scent Crusher. Scent off, game on.